5 little ducks zooming through the yard. Wings flapping, quacks fill the air. That's what my typical mornings look like since I've started raising my own flock of golden 300 ducks. And I'm going to be sharing the 3 most important things I've learned about keeping your own flock of pet ducks. The first thing I'm going to go over is the enclosure, because people commonly ask me why you're not able to use something as simple as a chicken coop for the ducks. And I feel like the book, the 2008 Domestic Duck Production, Science and Practice by authors Cherry and Morris does a good job explaining that ducks, they require a significant amount of floor space compared to chickens, and they also need something that can manage high levels of moisture. And so this Backyard Discovery animal enclosure does a great job at that because it's made out of cedar wood and steel, so it's naturally moisture resistant. And it's made for livestock, and so it's got this wide door that gives them plenty of space to get in. It's got a wide floor space that gives them ample room to nest on the floor. On the back over here, it's got an extra door that gives me easy access to put in new bedding and to swap out the old bedding. Compared to a chicken house, that's designed with chicken behavior in mind. And so chickens at night, instead of nesting and sleeping on the floor, they roost. And so they find an elevated position to perch on and they sleep on that. For the next area of duck ownership, I'm going to be going over their feed, which I feed my ducks into a 30-pound hanging feeder or an 18-inch feed trough. And I feed them a formulated duck-specific blend. And that's because chicken food, the 2025 article of Countryside and Small Stock, Aaron Snide, he goes over how ducks need 12.5 milligrams of niacin per day, which chicken food isn't formulated with enough. And so you can bridge that gap with brewer's yeast, which is a niacin supplement. And so all of their feed, I mix brewer's yeast onto the top to help make sure they're getting enough niacin. And I also add 2 other supplements, Coop Kelp and Poultry Probiotic, because those both help with their digestive health and their immunity. And their water, I give them new water every day because ducks, they drill in the mud looking for bugs, foraging around. And so they need to be able to clean their beaks. And so they blow their nose into their water and they get their water dirty super fast, and they get upset if they've got dirty water, and they'll let you know. And so if you hear loud quacking, it's because they're hungry and they're looking for snacks, or they're thirsty and they want clean water, or because they're lonely and they want you to hang out with them. But I go out and I give them new water every day and new food. And for the last thing, I just check on their health and safety. And so feather picking can occur in poultry for a variety of reasons. The Instant Insights, the 2021 book by author Van Sterevon, he goes over how feather picking in poultry can occur for a variety of reasons, from something as simple as them just being overcrowded and not having enough space, or just there being an overly aggressive male in the group, to them finding a new texture, or them being bored in their thing, or just something else random. Pecking can occur for a variety of reasons, and when it does occur, it's best to take prompt immediate action. And so what I recommend to do is to separate the aggressor duck and the injured duck. And it's not good to separate the ducks fully, but so I put them in a dog cage with a divider so they're not isolated, they're still with their friend, but it keeps them separated enough where they can't pick each other and cause further damage. For the injured duck, I use Vetericin, which is a poultry spray that's an antimicrobial that goes on wound and feather injuries, and it just helps them heal properly and not get infected. And before I reintroduce them with the group, I use a no pick and spray, because this has a hydrogel solution which changes the texture of the feathers that it gets sprayed on, and it's got a distinct taste. Because for my example, my ducks at around 6 weeks, they had their pin feathers first start growing in, and when those feathers first start growing in, when they're cleaning each other, they feel those textures and they notice it's something new, and they pick at it because it's a different feeling when they're cleaning themselves. and it can start to bleed. And ducks have a natural instinct to pick the color red. And so when a duck starts bleeding, all the other ducks will gang in and start picking that injured spot, and it can spiral out of control quickly, where you can check on a duck and they can all be fine, and then you can check on them 2 hours later and a duck can have a severe injury. And so it's best to just keep a vigilant eye on the group. And that covers the 3 main things you need to know for duck ownership. And so if you can remember specialized daily care, their enclosure, and health and safety, you're going to be able to keep your ducks happy and let happy quacks fill the air.